Hi there, hello everybody. YouTube peoples, friends on UK Preppers and Survivalists, Bushcraft and Wild Campers UK. I'm just here, have another go at this little video that I made a mess of yesterday. Talking a little bit about the Bushcraft survival windbreak shelter building technique that I did a video of yesterday. I messed that one up quite a bit. Pressed stop instead of pause record a few times, so it's in sections, one of which doesn't have sound. It was my first ever instructional video. Never done anything like this before until trying yesterday, so I'm just going to have a try at getting it a bit better for you. The structures started, as you can see, from what I did yesterday. I'm not going to do too much work on it today because of that. I'm going to have a recap with a good description. We'll discuss the 5 stages of making it, the materials used, the benefits of it, etc. I hope that'll be nice for you, and I hope the video works better than it did yesterday. I'll pause you in a moment and we'll get straight into the descriptions of it and we'll go from there. Just quickly before we jump into the description, a bit of the materials. We've got some longer branches, you'll see what they're for in a minute, some shorter leafy branches, we have some mosses and grasses, some little twigs and some longer branches. That's what we'll need for this little job, which I'm about to show you. Hi all, I'm back with you now. We're looking at the shelter from what I would like to say is the inside, but I don't think it really makes a difference. It just looks neater. So what we have is these pieces are the longer branches, and they're woven around these 3 trees. One goes this way round, one goes that way round. Branches tend to be a little bent, so some of them, for me going this way round, I have to turn the branches over to get a bit of spring in them so they stay in firm. If everything's tighter, it's probably a bit better, and particularly with the weaving. The weaving, we've got the little branches. This is the next stage. After you've done a good row of these, you can put a few pieces in to support as well, and if you don't have trees to use, you can put posts in the ground and weave around those. So the little branches, things like these, I just wove in and out of these branches like so, right the way along, keeping them close together. I will give a little demonstration in a minute. Once you've got a row like this, you'll find like the ends of branches form a line and it will be gappy. I've already done it on this, but what you then do is you start to weave them this way, in and out through what you can, and you see that happens and you fill up a bit more gap and just tidy it up a bit. I also like to keep everything tidy, pushing things back behind the branches. That's just me. Makes it look neat, makes it look prettier, gives you a better area to work on. The next stage is to then take these branches. I've not really got room at the moment, so I'll show you in a minute, but they stand in the back of the weaving branches. If you can imagine, they're going, out of focus, around the trees. You get a gap in between, so you want to fill these up, fill that up a little with these, and then the next stage is to go round to the other side, which I'll show you in a moment, and we'll be packing it with grass and moss and leaves, anything we can really. I've just got some grass and moss off my lawn because it needed a rake, and doing the odd job meant I've got a chance to do this while out, which is a bonus. So that's the next stage. I think we're up to 1, 2, 3, 4. After that, we take the shorter little thin branches that I showed you a moment ago. I'll try and grab one. Anything like this, and once you've packed from the back with the mosses and grasses, there's another row of the branches like this, and these will weave in and out of them. And something like this. I'm not going to do it here. We'll do that around the other side, and that will pack in all the mosses and grasses, keep it all tight, stop everything falling down and destroying itself. Never meant to last a great amount of time though. It'll do you for a night or two, and then it'll start to disintegrate, but you can always add more, take out the mosses if you need to use something like this for longer. It will last as long as you keep working on it. And I think that's about the explanations done. So I shall be back with you in a moment again. Another little pause for you. I keep saying a moment, but when I pause it, it's instant for you, isn't it? I'll be with you in a moment. So I said I'd show you the back. Let's get the camera around and we'll have a little look at the back. I'll show you what I mean. This is your outer row of your woven branches. You can see I've got little twigs in here and over here and here, going down this way, and they're holding in all this moss and grass that's packed in to fill any gaps and give it an extra layer of insulation. It really makes a difference. I think you've about seen the structure now, so in a moment I'll be getting on and, sorry, I keep forgetting to look at the lens, not the screen, so makes it better for you. I did mention this yesterday and I'm still forgetting. Yeah, I'll be cracking on with demonstration now, so we'll just get this camera set back up for you so you can see well. Okay, I think that's a good view of the, yeah, that works for me. I'll just have to turn myself around in a moment so that I can be working. You'll just see my back for a moment, but you'll get to see what I'm doing. That's more interesting. So I hope you enjoy. I'm just going to lean over, grab my materials and have a little show of what we're doing and just reiterate a few points. No time like the present. So I'm looking, the last branch on went from the other side, so I'm good. I want to start on this side. All you're going to do, a little bend on the branch. That one's going to be better the other way, and I was wrong. The last one was this way. That's one in. I hope you saw that well enough. I'd just like to trim off all down here, as you can see. One thing I will point out while we're looking at this corner that I didn't mention while we were discussing all this before I get to doing it in the demo is you do get a big gap down this corner, so some of those taller branches I mentioned, that's a little small, but you want to shove them right in, and plenty of them, and a lot down in the bottom where the bottoms of the branches are going the other way. Really pack it out with moss in there as well when you're on the other side. This bit's a lot easier to fill. Anyway, more wood going in. And this is what I was saying about the branches being bent. This one's very loose, so I just give it a turn over and it goes nice and tight again. It's ready to go. It doesn't really matter about the thickness or thinness or anything of these. You can make it neat if you want. You can take your time to use all straight branches, all the right length, and make it look really pretty, like you see the fences in the woods when the guys have been doing the bushcrafting out there. But that's not what I'm interested in. I just want to make this little gaps as possible, thick as I can, strong as I can, so it'll do me a night if it has to. Next branch going in. It's a little short, but it'll work. I've only got a few of each bit of material just to show you what's what for now. I don't want to spend too much time on it, already having done a video once. And that piece is a little short, so it's not working. straighten everything back up, so I just knocked it all out with that branch that wasn't working. But you get the idea from that. I'm really not paying too much attention to it for the moment. I'm just going to thicken up this top to show you this part. Basically in and out as much as you can. I really did mess it up. Oh, there we go. I really did make a mess of it a moment ago. Trying to rush through this video, but it doesn't have to look pretty anyway, so that's perfectly fine now. If you get the looser bits, you're putting in branches from behind again in a moment anyway. So we just continue like that until we've got it as thick as we can, but keep them all tight together. And doing this will also help give some support to these branches, because you're putting pressure on them and pushing them against each other, etc. All helps to build it together. The more structure the better, really. Didn't even weave that one. And then you're going to see where they're starting to form this line where you can see the branches. You're going to get more gaps down there, so we're going to weave in and out, going across, just like this. And then, as I say, down the back, you want to put some of these taller ones in. I don't need to shove them all the way down because I've already got plenty in there, coming up to a certain height from when I finished the other day, yesterday even. I like to leave a little bit over the top, makes it look pretty. And these don't have to be woven in, they're there just as an extra layer, and when you go around the back to put the mosses in, it's something for them to cling into, gaps for them for it to fill, etc. Something for them to back on, basically. But you do want plenty in your corners, as I mentioned, and you can shove loads down them. I think I've done actually quite a lot down there already. Yeah. And as I say, I like to just keep neatening things up, pushing it back through here. A couple more in this way while I'm at it. As long as you get anything like that going on, you're going to work well enough. Little bits of gaps up at the top, but if you're going up and up, you fill that in, you make a bit more, you fill that in, as you do. So, I'll be pausing you for a second again now. We'll go around the back, we'll have a look at the next stages from there. It's a little cramped for me, but I'm sure you'll be perfectly comfortable. Okay, so here we are around the back. Oh, here I am when I get into place. As you can see, I've not got the branches woven in down here, so all this is a lot more exposed. Get in there, you scruffy. This is just me. You'll have to bear with me. There we go. We've got our good grass and moss, and a handful of these little things just to show you what we're doing with them. Well, you can already see here, they're not really, some of them aren't even infirm, but they're only there to literally stop this grass and moss falling out and everything. Everything's got enough structure to it, it's all hard enough, you can give it a whack, it doesn't go anywhere, you can push on it, it's solid enough. Like I said earlier, it will last a night if it has to. So the next stage anyway is to simply do this. Don't really need to explain it much, it's not very fancy. All you need to do is just look for where you can see any little bits of light coming through. Bung it up. You can shove as much in as you want, as much as you can get, the more the better. I need to be doing some up top where I just did these few rows. I don't actually see any gaps right up to here at the moment. But it still wants to be there. Well, let me go this side. We've got a few gaps down here, just on the join going up to this corner. Plenty in. You'll get a lot in these corners as well. You can go down from the top. Just really fill it up there. I haven't got enough to fill it up there. Shove in anything you can under the bottom and just basically block everything up. If you look now, it looks pretty well sealed. You can't really see anything through there, and that's what you're aiming for. There's a big gap. But other than that, it'll do for demonstration purposes. Right, we'll have a little recap. We'll have a little recap. I'm going to go around there, get myself comfy, leaned up against it while we have a chat. One moment. Okay. Just nice and shaded out, this sun here as well. Got my little tarp over. What I do here is I put my bivvy, and it goes from here around the back there out to there, and this little shelter is I made just because basically my head just goes about here when I'm sleeping, maybe here, and it'll block a bit of breeze off, stop a bit of cold air moving my way. Like I say, it's perfectly strong enough to lean on and use. Good insulating qualities, good wind breaking qualities, good for a night if it has to be, and I think we're about good for the video. I can't really think about anything else to say on it. Hope you've enjoyed everything that I've showed you. Hope I haven't bored you too much, and yeah, I've enjoyed making this video a lot more than I ever thought I would. This is my only my second go ever at an instructional video of any kind, and as I mentioned, the first one yesterday was a bit of a mess. This one seems to have gone a lot smoother. I'll let you be the judge. Jay out.